Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Dinozor Gaming, where we learn to be a better player. Today we are watching the first round of a top 8 Showdown event that happened not too long ago, and this is going to be a matchup of epic proportions between Mother Talzin on Red Force Base and Kylo Ren on Tarkin Town, and what could only be described as a rematch of the Galactic Championship Finals. Now, this was a showdown that was held here in Montreal, and some of the best Canadian players showed up, so it was quite the competition. That said, let's do a quick talk about the decks here. We have Kylo Ren on Tarkin Town, likely the aggressor in the matchup, hoping to get some chip damage in very early on, in just enough so that Kylo can flip over and one-shot the leader's base. And on the other side, we have Mother Talzin using all the power of the negative stats, or the wither effect rather, to control the board to prevent that early damage and then simply overwhelm Kylo Ren. Now, Kylo Ren starts this matchup with a Secretive Sage, not what you want to be seeing as Kylo. Your ideal turn 1 play, of course, is going to be Migs Mayfield, one of the strongest turn 1 plays in the game, especially combined with Tarkin Town. However, on the other side, that Krennic also comes in with a shield and is one of the best answers to a Migs, preventing that turn 1 instant kill. Now we're moving into turn number 2. The initiative is with Mother, as is normal, because Kylo with his leader ability will almost always lose the initiative on the first turn. And very quickly we see a Power of the Dark Side take out the Secretive Sage, but it is immediately replaced by another one. A shielded unit, very difficult to take care of. However, Mother does have some of the best tools to deal with it. Instead, we're going to be seeing a quick 2 damage dealt to the base here, and Kylo does indeed discard a card, keeping the initiative with Mother. This is where we're going to move into the 4 resource turn, yet no leader is deploying, but this is the key turn for Mother Talzin normally. Usually some of the strongest cards in the deck come out on this turn, and this is what makes Mother so good. However, we have not seen a single Force unit come into play yet for Mother, so the Force token is not generated just yet. So your Talzin's Assassins or your Darth Tyrannuses won't do much here. So we're going to be paying 1 for Karis, using that discount from Director Krennic, leaving 3 open for so many options here. There's the option of another Power of the Dark Side. This could be a bait, trying to hope that a upgrade is played on that Secretive Sage, or alternatively we could be playing just another 3-drop here that there are plenty of in the Mother deck. We could have Jedi in Hiding, we can have Grand Inquisitor, but looks like we're going to see a Long Pike played for full cost, not smuggled out for Kylo, just putting as much raw stats as possible into play. And so for 3, we are going to see that Jedi in Hiding come down, having 2 Force units in play, more or less guarantees that Mother will be able to generate the Force with no issue next turn. Now at this point, Kylo Ren is deciding whether it's worth attacking or taking off that shield, or is it better to have the initiative here to be able to attack? Potentially, if you take the initiative as Kylo Ren here, you have the option of defeating that Karis before the Force is generated, but no, it looks like Kylo is going to simply discard an upgrade to draw a card, stalling it out, knowing that the initiative will probably not go to him. Mother does indeed swing. Looks like they're going to trade shields here, understanding that the discount from the Krennic has already been used and likely not planning on using it next turn. That Krennic is no longer as valuable, so it's better off to soften up your opponent's board to try and clear it out next turn. Kylo does indeed claim the initiative here, so you do have the option of defeating either one of those Force units, both of them having fantastic when defeated abilities that rely on the Force. That said, it is now the 5 resource turn. This is when Mother Talzin is able to deploy. You do have the option of using Mother's ability twice this turn, once on the leader side and once on the deployed side. Kylo does still need another 2 full turns before coming out, so we'll see if Mother is able to keep up the board advantage that they have at the moment. And as expected, Long Pike does do the first swing here, however giving the shield to Krennic once again, and to itself in order to prevent the shield. Oh no, the shield actually goes on Secretive Sage rather than Long Pike, making it so the last turn's attack is irrelevant. That said, that was a slight misplay here because Karis is now able to attack into Long Pike, dealing 2 damage and then using the Force to get rid of that Sage that just got shielded. So a shield only actually affected Krennic, and at the moment with that board state possible, only 1 health left on Long Pike, Mother Talzin will be able to deploy an attack and kill that for free. Looks like in order to prevent that, we see a Fallen Lightsaber played on that Long Pike, boosting its health back up to 4. And so for a single resource, once again using that Krennic's discount, we see an Acolyte of Beyond played. Kylo simply discards the draw, stalling it out here. But as a Mother player, you're pretty happy to see what this looks like at the moment. You're not really worried about your Mother being defeated when you deploy, which is one of the biggest concerns fighting against this deck. Usually your opponent could have options such as Force throwing themselves, using Force Lightning with extra resources, or just Power of the Dark Side to get rid of your Mother, and usually when your leader is one shot like that in this deck, you fall very far behind. But due to no resources left on Kylo Ren's side, that is no longer a worry. Instead, we're going to be seeing Mother Talzin attack the base, give them -1/-1 to that Long Pike, leaving it with 3 health available. And now that the Force has been generated, we're going to be seeing that Assassin come down, use it, and finish off. Mother is being extremely efficient here with their removal, constantly evolving the board and putting in some damage on the base, always clearing his opponent's board without actually losing much of your units. That is a very precarious position for Kylo at the moment. You're only going into 6 resources. You don't yet have the means of deploying and slowing down your opponent, at the very least with your leader Sentinel. That said, the 6th resource is a key turn as well for Kylo, mainly because of Anakin, and if you do, never mind, you can ignore everything I just said. We're gonna see that Force Lightning come down with the extra resources. Slight miscount there. Mother Talzin is defeated, but only 1 resource left open for Kylo. With already 7 damage on Tarkin Town and another 8 potential on base, looks like Mother decides it is time to go all out. We do not need to worry about that Karis anymore. Even if there's 1 resource open with the danger of Force Throw, Mother does not seem threatened by that. Continuing on the damage here, we're seeing Tarkin Town taken up to 13 already. Force Throw is indeed played for 1. Force Lightning is discarded, so only 1 damage is dealt, going straight to that Assassin. Might not seem like much, but Tarkin Town has not been used yet, so able to clear that out at the very least. And so we're going to see Anakin come down, give a -3/-3 to that Karis, essentially making it so it will die without any damage taken back when the Acolyte attacks it. That's exactly what happens here. The board is still clear, 13 damage on Kylo Ren's board, but we are finally going into the flip turn. Does Kylo have what it takes here to slow down the onslaught? Only 12 damage left on the base, and Mother Talzin does play quite a bit of reach at the moment, but it looks like we do not go up to 7 resources, so you're a lot less scared of Devastator at this point. Ruthless Raider is of course still an option, but that alone would not be enough to defeat you. Fairly difficult decision for Kylo here. A single misplay at this moment could lead to your demise. If you deploy your leader and your opponent has the answer immediately in something like Power of the Dark Side or Force Lightning, you would immediately lose the game, mainly because unlike other leaders, Kylo Ren generally spends up most of your resources when you flip, so you're kind of putting all of your eggs in a single basket here. And so we're going to be seeing that Anakin Skywalker come down. And with a heroic upgrade in the discard Off screen, unfortunately, we see the two small units taken down here, but that Anakin is left open, swinging onto the base for 5, taking it up to 18, only 7 left at the moment, and with only a single resource open, there is not much Kylo can do to slow this down. It looks like Kylo Ren does indeed claim, so Power of the Dark Side is played to clear out that Anakin, and they're going to move on to the next turn. Luckily for Kylo here, no other plays were done with the open 3 resources, so there's a lot less developed onto the board. So at the moment, flipping your Kylo open, especially if you are able to put a snapshot reflexes on it to kill off that Anakin, does somewhat stabilize the board for you here. But is it too little too late? We'll see. Mother Talzin still staying at 6, so the danger of Devastator is still very far away. So there is still some glimmer of hope here for Kylo. Looks like I lied. The players seem to have been discussing it, and the 7th resource is played down for Mother. The Devastator is not that far away. It is only a single turn away at this point. But the bases are still looking 18-0. That is a very unfortunate position for Kylo here. Even if you are able to flip and make a giant leader, you would need a lot of time, and it looks like Anakin gets a swing in here. Modi is played, and that is a interesting decision for that Modi, because Modi can immediately be defeated by Mother. That's exactly what happens. Modi is defeated, nothing gets ready. With only two damage, with only 2 health left on the base here, it is extremely unlikely for Kylo Ren to be able to come back. So we see that Karis played. Mother hesitating here. Seems like they do not yet have the answer to immediately defeat your opponent. If you would have a Ruthless Raider or a Devastator, you would very easily either play it or claim the initiative for the win here. Instead, clearing out that Karis, kind of signaling that they are okay with that Kylo Ren flipping, otherwise you would likely save your Force Lightning for the leader. There's a very high likelihood that something along the lines of Power of the Dark Side is being saved for the leader flip. That said, with only 4 resources open, is Kylo able to get big enough to prevent itself from dying? Looks like Kylo simply claims the initiative here, hoping to draw an answer, or actually hoping maybe to just have more resources for the flip itself. And Mother Talzin does indeed resource up to 8. Kylo is deployed. And in order to prevent any time waste, Mother shows that Devastator, and that is it for game number 1. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going into game number 2 here. The initiative is with Kylo Ren. Let's see if things go differently this time around. Kylo does start with the Migs Mayfield. That is perfect. That's exactly what you want. But on the other side, we do see that Krennic played down. Once again, the perfect answer. Even if you were to discard a card, only getting rid of that shield is not enough. Krennic is able to then trade into that Migs Mayfield. So you lose out the main point of playing Migs. And so to save it, we see that Power of the Dark Side come down, killing that Krennic, hoping that whatever comes next does not have a shield, that we are able to discard a card, draw a card, ping it for 2. But nope, we're going to see a Power of the Dark Side clean up that field 1-1. Kylo decides to discard anyways, losing the initiative but getting that card draw, setting up that discard for the big turn that we did not get to see last game. Well, hopefully we will this time around. Once again, going into that 4 resource turn without the Force for Mother Talzin is not where you want to be. But even then, with the initiative, nothing you play would have mattered. There's no targets for Talzin's Assassin, there's no targets for Tyrannus. So Tyrannus comes down without the ambush anyways. A shielded unit like this is pretty hard to take care of. Your Kylo Ren typically does not run Talzin's Assassin, you don't have an easy way of generating that force, and Anakin is still 2 turns away. Looks like we're going to be seeing some dirtling here from Kylo. The initiative is claimed by Mother. So with an open board, we are going to be seeing a witch come down and a force throw. Looks like it's going to be more than one force throw. Otherwise, why would you do this play? That Devastator is discarded, but all of the damage is absorbed by the shield. And no, it's not going to be another force throw. We're going to see a grenade strike deal 2 damage there, and Tarkin Town will finish it off. That is a lot of resources put into clearing a single card here. We saw 3 cards used, as well as the Tarkin Town, just to get rid of that one Tyrannus. That is very inefficient for Kylo. Let's hope it pays off. Denying the Force is definitely important. But we are now going into the Mother Talzin flip turn. Debating whether to bring out Mother, it looks like we're going to be seeing a Jedi hiding played first in order to not be vulnerable to Power of the Dark Side. A very smart play from Mother here. And it's going to be answered by the Force Throw with not many cards left in Kylo Ren's hand. We see that Secretive Sage come down, 2 damage dealt to that Long Pike, and which attacks the base for 1. With nothing left in Kylo's hand, Mother is able to rain havoc here, honestly. You have your pick to either kill the witch here to prevent any more force cards from being played, or you can get rid of that Long Pike by attacking into it and giving it a -1. It looks like that's what we're going to do. Interesting decision, not worried about the Force Throw and the Force Lightning, which makes sense when your opponent does not have any cards in hand. You don't need to play around specific cards. If they do draw it, it is unlucky, but you have to always play out to your outs, you have to play to your odds, and the odds were definitely in Mother Talzin's favor here. It looks like Kylo Ren opts to not resource. And we're going to see that Pillage come down, and the only 2 cards in Kylo Ren's hand are discarded. And looks into his resources, hoping to see a smuggle, does not find one, claims the initiative, and Mother dominates that turn, dealing 6 damage to the base, getting the Force, preventing your opponent from playing. That is definitely not what you want to see. That Pillage probably coming in from the side, very handy. Really, an uphill battle for Kylo here. We're going to see a bit more damage come up, but the open fire is used here to clear out the Mother. Finally, the leader goes down, but with still nothing left in hand, it is Mother's game to play. With the initiative claim, we're just going to see the board developed here. On the right side, Long Pike comes down as well as Secretive Sage, and now they are moving into the 8 resource turn for Mother, but only 7 for Kylo. Delaying that turn for Kylo is already... Kylo already deploys late enough, so if you delay it by another turn, you fall way too far behind. And at the moment, we're looking at 9 damage on Tarkin Town, with already another 9 damage in play, and 8 resources for Mother Talzin. It's gonna be tough. Let's see what Kylo manages to do. Having forgotten to unflip his leader here. The nerves seem to be getting to the player. And we're just passing here for Kylo. Another pass here, dealing another 3 damage to the base. There's only 7 health left on that Tarkin Town. What is Kylo Ren exactly waiting for? Looks like we were waiting for the attacks to run out. That way that Migs Mayfield won't immediately die. But with nothing left in hand, what exactly are you going to be discarding to trigger it? Looks like that assassin does come down and gets rid of the Migs regardless. And with that, we're going to be moving on to the next turn. Looks like Kylo opted not to deploy here, opting to claim the initiative to hopefully deploy at the start of the turn with much more resources available, or potentially drawing an answer here. But what kind of answer does Kylo have for such a wide board? You normally don't see a Super Laser Blast played in this deck, rightfully so. You hope that the game will be over before that. And indeed, we're going to be seeing the Kylo Ren come out with the Fallen Lightsaber, the snapshot reflexes potentially, or a constructed lightsaber. With 8 resources open, you're just one shy of playing all 3, unfortunately. So we're going to see the Infiltrator skill and the Snapshot reflexes, busting Kylo up to a 10-10. That is a fairly large Sentinel. And able to swing right away, we'll be taking out that shield on the Secretive Sage, and at the very least, 1 unit in play. While Kylo is deliberating, we're gonna see Mother set up the 1 damage dice ready to ping here. Kind of seems like Kylo is gonna be attacking base here. Some quick maths happening from the Kylo player, trying to see if that swing on base will be enough for him to survive. But with so many options in the Mother Talzin deck, it is extremely likely that there's going to be an answer to either defeat that Kylo, bypass it, or maybe just play a Devastator in space and end the game that way. Yeah, the damage did indeed go to the base. That's a quick 10 damage there. And for 1, the Force Throw is played to deny the last card, hoping that it's not a Force Throw, but indeed it was simply a Secretive Sage here. 2 damage is dealt to that Kylo, and with now nothing left for the Kylo player to do, Mother is free to rain havoc, and we're going to be seeing a 1 cost paid for Force Lightning. Utter disrespect here, not spending the rest of the resources, simply using it to remove the Sentinel, and then attacking the base for game, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. What a game that was. Kylo Ren did not find the answers he needed, and Mother Talzin ran away with the victory here in what was a very quick end to the first round of the top 8. But don't worry, stay tuned. We will have the semifinals and the finals coming up soon. Thank you once again for watching, y'all, and I will see you guys next time.